In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to make art using just a pen. There are lots of different techniques and styles you can use, but I'm just going to demonstrate the technique I find the easiest to work with. Before I get into the portrait, I'm going to demonstrate a quick exercise you can practice if you're not familiar with drawing with a pen. Hopefully it will give you some tips and make you feel more confident. In all my pen drawings, I use a method called crosshatching. This is a really easy technique. All you have to do is draw single lines going in the same direction. To make the area darker, do lines going in different directions. The more layers you do and the more lines you draw, the darker this area will look. To make an area look lighter, space the lines out more and draw them as lightly as possible. Now that you know what crosshatching is, let's use it to make an object look 3D. I've just drawn around a cup to get the basic shape for a sphere. Before you start shading in, determine where the light is coming from. I'm going to have light coming from the top left. Lightly draw an area where the light will hit your object. Try and keep this area as light as possible by not adding too many pen lines within this area. Try your best to draw lines that follow the direction of the shape, as this will help build structure. Add more marks going in different directions to darken your shape. Keep doing this until you are happy with the result. This is a gradual process, so take your time to get the best results. The more you practice and the more confident you become, the faster you will be able to do this. Remember to not add too many lines where the light hits the object. The key to any impressive piece of artwork is contrast, so make sure that your light areas are really light and your dark areas really dark. To make the shadow cast by the shape really dark, I just do lots of layers. As you can see, I also tend to scribble a little bit and then do more controlled lines to even out the shadow. Just keep building up lots of layers until you're happy. I'm not going to explain how I drew this portrait in this video. If this is something that interests you and if you'd like to see a video about this in the future, drop a comment down below. I got the reference photo from unsplash.com. I love using this website to find really nice high quality, royalty free or no copyright photos. I start almost all of my portraits by shading in the eyes first. When I do this, I pay close attention to the reference photo to make sure I get all the shadows and highlights in the right places. As you can see here, I'm outlining the forehead quite dark. This is because there's going to be really dark hair behind her forehead. I wouldn't suggest outlining anything in your drawing unless there's going to be a very dark shadow next to the area you outline. When drawing any eyebrows, pay close attention to the reference photo to make sure you draw the hairs going in the right direction. Don't draw the lines for the eyebrow hairs too long. I find it easier to start by drawing the bottom of the eyebrow and then slowly add more hairs to fill out the rest. Don't forget to draw lines as lightly as possible in the areas that will have the most highlight. Start by shading in the lips with a base colour. Focus where the light and the darks are and slowly build up layers to darken the shadows by drawing lots of lines. Draw in finer details to imitate the texture of the lips. It can take a while to draw in all the details, so take your time. Drawing the ear, it can be a bit intimidating if you focus on all the different shapes that make up the ear. Instead, focus on one small part at a time and work at getting in the shadows and highlights. This is an easier way to get great results. When drawing the eyelashes, be careful not to draw in too many hairs. Look closely at the reference photo to see which direction these hairs go in. The hair can be the hardest part and also the part that takes the longest, but with a little patience and perseverance, you'll be able to get amazing results. I start off by mapping out the direction of the hair by drawing in lines that follow the hair's direction. Once you've done this, start adding in more lines and texture to the hair. It can be easy to shade the hair all the same tone. If you do this, the hair will look flat. Make sure that you maintain lighter areas for highlights, but also don't be afraid to get the dark areas really dark for the shadows. If you want to draw in little flyaway bits of hair that go in different directions to the rest of the clump, I find it easier to start by drawing in a darker line that follows the direction of this small strand. Draw in the strand and then, following the direction of the bigger clump of hair, add darker areas to blend out the smaller strand you just drew in. Add in individual loose hairs to make the hair look softer and more realistic. The hair behind her face is one of the darkest areas in the photo, so I'm making sure I get that as dark as I can. Make sure you keep drawing in the direction of the hair. I find that putting another piece of paper underneath my hand while I'm still drawing prevents the picture from smudging. Now I just look at the drawing and decide if there's anything I can do to improve, whether that's darkening any areas or adding more detail. Now that I've darkened some areas and drawn in more hair, the picture is done. Now all we have to do is protect it. To protect the drawing from smudging, I spray it with hairspray. Trust me, it works. Don't spray too close, otherwise this will happen. Spray at a distance and make sure that the drawing is dry before you spray another layer of hairspray, otherwise the drawing will get too wet and start to drip and ruin the picture. I sprayed this drawing quite a few times. Now you're finished. If you do any pen drawings, send me a message on Instagram or Facebook. I'd love to see what you guys draw. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and let me know what you thought in the comments below.